Hello there, I'm Jane Johnson. I'm the author of The Seagate, which comes out shortly in the UK and a bit later this year in the US and Canada. And I thought, because it's a book set in Cornwall, which is a particularly beautiful place, that I would come up to the allotment to show you a little bit of Cornwall and why I write about the place I come from and where I live. So here I am, and I'm just going to turn the camera around now so that you can see. I'm sitting on the bench here, and look, just there we are, right on the edge of the cliff here. And if I turn around, you can see this is my old greenhouse that we've just patched up, and it's very rickety, but it's working. We've only had this magical space here for about 2 months. A friend of mine offered it to me just before lockdown, and because we have no outdoor space where we live, and this is part of a very old allotment. It's been worked since the 18th century, but this end of it had gone to rack and ruin, and it was just covered in brambles and weeds and bracken. So it's been quite a job digging it all out and planting it up. But here we go, look, and this is where we are now. This is what it looks like now. It's all starting to come to life. And it's just been the most brilliant project to have during these times. Because I don't know about you, but I found it very, very hard to concentrate on anything particularly complex or difficult during COVID-19. It's as if all our parameters have been taken away. Oh look, here we go. These are the potatoes, and this is actually the dividing line between my garden and Abdul's garden. As you can see, Abdul's side is extremely organised and tidy. Mine is a little bit more untidy. Well, I quite like things a little bit wild. I'm hoping we're going to have things we can eat out of it soon, but really that's not been entirely the point. It's just really been lovely to have somewhere to come and to have a project at this time, because it has been pretty discombobulating, I think you'd agree. And I just love being out in nature anyway, and to actually see plants growing. It's fascinating. I mean, look at these mange tout. Aren't they just stunning? See how they've wrapped themselves around. Their little grabby hands have just caught on and made the most incredibly complex knots and to support themselves. And as a climber, I kind of appreciate that. I've been loving watching them. And we come down here, and we're down to the lovely ceanothus, which attracts so many bees, and I love to see the bees on it. It's a little bit quieter today than usual. Sometimes it hums so much that you can actually feel the bees humming in your breastbone. It's a lovely, lovely noise, but I think they probably had the best of it by now. Yeah, so here we come. I'm going to show you now. I hope this works. See the headland out there, and then you'll see some buildings. Now that's the village of Mousel. That's where I live, and it's the notional setting for the Seagate. In fact, Olivia's house would be about a mile further on, around that headland. The house in the Seagate is very wild and falling apart. It's in a very decrepit state, much like its owner, Olivia. And she has called upon her young cousin to come and help her put it straight, so that she can come out of hospital and be released back into her own house. And it's really very much a House of Secrets novel. I think all old houses have many, many secrets to hide and many stories to tell. And part of the story of the Seagate is set in this time, sort of a couple of years ago, and the rest of it, as it unravels itself, as it shows itself to you bit by bit, is set in the Second World War. Now, my mother lived down in this area during the war. She was 16, the same age as Olivia, and had many tales to tell, and many of the observances in the book are based on things that my mother told me. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2017. So the Seagate is in part a sort of tribute to her and to her memories. And I'm sure some of her tales are completely apocryphal because she was always making things up, but nonetheless entertaining for that. A lot of it I have researched with local people here who still remember being here during the war, and also have many amazing stories to tell. So I think it's in some ways the most personal of my books, and in another way it's also a homage to Cornwall. So I'm going to finish off with just showing you again the view from here, because it really is just beautiful. And right at the far end, over there, you'll see St Michael's Mount, and this is Mounts Bay, and that's, if you've read The 10th Gift, the first of my historical novels, that's where the Barbary pirates sailed in past there to steal 60 men, women and children out of the church, which you can't see from here, but on the other side of the bay, and take them back to Morocco to sell as slaves, which included my ancestor Catherine Trigona. And if it hadn't been for that event, I would never have gone to Morocco, and I would not have married, I would not have met my husband Abdel, and married him, and it would have completely changed my life. So life can be strange sometimes. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you'll read The Seagate, and I hope you enjoy that as well. Thank you.